hurdles for bringing us all together in that fun musical activity. That's like, every time we come, that's like the highlight of our visit. It's very memorable. We come together, just feel so connected, and share our energy with each other. So thank you for helping us come together. And we're grateful to be part of this whole network, to come together and share and do some learning with everyone. So my name is Landen, and my co-worker here, friend Wes. And we're from a company named called Skillsfest in Orem, Utah. And so it's a treat for us to come and spend some time in this beautiful area here in Wisconsin. And so Synthetic, we manufacture, we're an industry manufacturer of synthetic diamonds that are used in the oil and gas industry for downhole drilling. And Synthetic started in 1978 with a little bit of the history of that, where this technology started and was invented from a guy in Utah named Tracy Hall. And so now a couple businesses in Utah that do the same thing. We're now all competitors of each other. But when Synthetic was started 41 years ago, our founder named Lewis Pope started it because he wanted to kind of create this idea of what his livelihood for his family, provide opportunities for himself and for his family to grow and be involved in the community. And when he started hiring and the business got growing and hiring more employees, he noticed and soon understood that everyone, they all have the same interest as well. They all wanted a great livelihood for their family. And so he started kind of measuring different things. And some of the neat things that we kind of capture are, employees on how many people have maybe been able to get an education within the first 5 years of working there. And kind of more of these human elements of metrics that we're trying to learn on what this idea is for employees to feel involved with the business. And so the vision and mission of Synthetic is to improve lives. And kind of paint a picture of that. What does improve lives mean? And it becomes more than just a catchphrase. It's memorized and we just think it's a cute little thing we put on the walls and tell people. But what's the backbone? What's the real meaning behind this? And that's what it comes down to, is kind of going back to that story with our founder of how employees feel empowered and the things that they're involved with to improve upon for themselves and their personal development and growth, but making sure that our customers, they're people too, and that they want the same thing too. So there's different things that we're trying to learn on where we can bring all of us together to a common purpose or vision.
Landen's the idealist here. He's the improve lives, everything's great. When I started there, I seriously was like, blah, 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 crap. So I'd come from a state job where I worked for 8 years and got like 1.25-cent raise. And I was seriously just like jaded beyond belief. And this whole improved lives is everywhere there. Mike was familiar with it and he said, are you guys still improving lives? Which is awesome for me to find out that that's what we're known for, is our tagline of improved lives. That's freaking awesome. Like, who doesn't want to be associated with that? And it quickly became evident to me that we put our money where our mouth was. We are a business. We're not a nonprofit. We exist to make money, but the only reason we feel it's important to make money is to be able to improve the lives of those 5 stakeholders that are underneath there: the employees, customers, suppliers, shareholders, and communities. And it's not just them as entities, but it's them as individuals. The companies that we serve, companies with great reputations like Halliburton and some of these other places, they're massive organizations, but they're people just like us. The same things that those people go to work for are the same things we go to work for. The same things that people in the community go to work for. They want to make money so that they can spend time and take care of their families, spend time with loved ones. All of those things, the things that we all do. And so it becomes really easy for us to say, down here there would be a list of activities that we would do to try to generate value that would lead to us hopefully having the best relationship, best product, and best speed, which will make us the leader in diamond solutions, which, like I said, we're a business. The only way we can improve lives as if we're still relevant in the industry. And that's where the next step of Landen's work, of the engineering good portion, and specifically the improving lives of the communities and the employees part comes in.
So it comes to this idea of, well, let's improve the lives of the communities, maybe if we have some time left over with capacity. So we got to understand that we've got to build and design the capacity within the business to where improving the lives of the community is just part of who we are and what we do. Just like it would be with the customers or employees. And so we balance that all out and have capacity designed to do that. And the neat thing about this is no matter who we are or what our role is within the organization, we all have a connection to delivering value to provide and accomplish the vision of improving lives. So the same thing goes along with in a community. So you think of a community, we all have different roles and responsibilities in the community, but what is that, I guess, common purpose or vision that we all feel connected to work towards that common purpose and goal, to work together? And so this is our model of, I guess you could say, our philanthropy or community outreach. It's our engineering good model, how do we engineer good into the community, and by involving and engaging our employees and partnering with like-minded folks and infrastructure that's built and designed already in the community. And so we have kind of these three areas of focus. And so we have up top this kind of like STEM education, inspiring the young generation for the job of the future. We know that a lot of the jobs these students are going to be getting don't even exist yet. So how do you prepare students for jobs that are unknown, that we don't even know anything about? And another one is this idea of local community engagement. What are we doing to be responsible for the community around us? And then we have this global initiative of how can we impact people throughout the world as well. And so going back to this idea of these jobs that are unknown, and you think of different things that are changing so fast, and one of the skills that we've developed with all of our employees, we have about 1,000 employees that work at US Synthetic. So how do you get all 1,000 employees working together? Well, we are very intentful and purposeful on designing a culture where people can feel empowered and be involved and engaged with the organization. So this idea of creating problem-solving capacity is really everything that we do. The more capacity we have and the skill sets to develop problem-solving within our business has helped us become extremely successful to where now US Synthetic is the leading provider and has approximately 45% of the market share in the entire world for any hole that gets drilled for oil, which is pretty incredible. This facility right there in Orange, Utah, of all places, is making that big of an impact throughout the world. And it's because of the environment and the culture that we've built by design, not just kind of crossed our fingers and hope by chance we just get this good culture, but how are we really developing problem-solving capability and skill in our employees, but then, even more so, how do we leverage that capability into the community? And so, an example of this is we have a great partnership with the United Way in Utah there, and they have every year this thing called the Day of Caring. And we see so much value in that day specifically, where we're going to shut down the facility on September 12th this year, so it's coming up pretty quick. And we have all 1,000 employees out with various different projects in the community, helping teach some of this problem-solving capability. When we talk problem-solving, I guess the methods or the core methods that we think of is this idea of the scientific method. And so we're very involved with sharing that with education. And instead of this idea of kind of an us versus them, where sometimes industry might have this barrier or wall built up between them and education, we're breaking down those barriers and saying, what can we do to work together to solve this challenge of preparing the next generation of these youth for these jobs that are unknown. And so we have these fun activities and share our problem-solving activities with them. But I like one of the comments, I think, John, you're sharing this idea of connection. Part of the United Way, they have this really neat initiative called Everyday Strong. And it's this idea of how do we be aware of this mental health awareness and help support all of us in the community with these challenges. And a lot of that has to do with making sure people feel connected. And so, at US Synthetic, that's what we're trying to do. some of the guiding principles that help us achieve great problem-solving capabilities is beliefs like no problem is ever because of a person. It's always because of a system, or a process, or a machine. And so instead of getting mad and angry at a person when a problem happens within our organization, we now stand shoulder to shoulder with them and use them as our resource and asset to say, yeah, how can we work together and use you as a resource to help solve this problem? And what that does is it creates an environment where people feel safe to expose problems to where now we celebrate problems. Instead of the opposite of that is where people would hide problems. And if we hide our problems, we can't solve them and we can't improve. And so that's what we're trying to do is create an environment where we can really come together and solve our problems and come together. So if you want to share.
So the local community part of this is kind of where my part again comes in, and that's I'm a manager on a manufacturing plant. So for me, this part's all awesome, but my job is other. And so for us to be able to go out and be a part of the community and do this work is such an awesome opportunity that we give to everybody. It's not just, okay, we give it to the executive team or to a select few. It's we give it to everybody. And I want to show a video. It's a little long, and sometimes the sound's not awesome, so I hope it works well. We had an opportunity to go up and work with, this is Kearns High School. Kearns is one of, Utah doesn't have a lot of inner city area, but Kearns would be probably amongst our top area of considered urban and inner city schools. We went and we wanted to talk to these guys about that same thing. You know, what matters most to you in your life? Why do you do the things that you do? And we found it to be exactly the same. These kids had some of the significance of their problems were heavier than ours. Some of these kids, this one you can barely see right here with his finger by his eye. I remember him telling the story. He loves to come and play football because it makes his dad who's in prison proud. Some of the rest of them play football for an opportunity so they can be the first kid to go to college. There's a bunch of different reasons why this school and these kids all really had the same thing in mind, the same purpose. So we wanted to kind of work with them on something. We have play Landen.
Yeah, let's see.
And you may have seen something similar to this. This isn't super unique.
Okay? What I want you to answer these questions, I want you to take 2 steps back. If you grew up with both parents still married, I want you to take 2 steps back. Grew up with a father figure in your home. I want you to take 2 steps back and you never have to worry about your cell phone or your job. I want you to take 2 steps back and you never have to help mom and dad pay bills. Take 2 steps back and you never have to wonder where your next meal is coming from. Take 2 steps back and you don't have to worry about how you're going to pay for college. These challenges, the obstacles we all face, they're different. Everybody's different, but they are not roadblocks. They're than someone having a bad liver or kidney or cancer. It's the same effect, right? Now I want you guys to, if you have a move, you may move where you are. But for everybody else who's a few steps backwards, until you get back to where you started from, I want you to answer these questions. Take 2 steps forward for every yes. Take 2 steps forward if you hope to make someone proud of you, either on the field or in the classroom. Take 2 steps forward if you have a friend or family member who struggles with drugs. Take 2 steps forward if you have ever felt like failure. Take 2 steps forward if you have ever lost a loved one. Take 2 steps forward if you play football because you love the game. Take 2 steps forward if you have ever felt confused or undecided about what to do beyond high school. There's a lot more that makes you guys common, okay, and the same. But there are things that make you individual or different. You guys are a team. And you grew up in a lot of the same experiences and the same difficulties, but we all, at the end of the day, we deal with the same thing. We all want to be successful. We all want to win the day. I'm going to tell you the experience I had not too long ago. I met someone in Peru. All right, I was there on a humanitarian project. I met this man named Roman. He was my same age, and just like me, he had 3 sons, similar ages to my son. The difference was he lived in a village. It took 4 hours on a dirt road that gets washed out every single year to get to his village. There's nothing there. I saw a lot of myself in Roman. At the end of this trip, one of the others on our trip, he shared with us, you know, really the only difference between all of us in that room on our last night in that village was where we were born. We were all brothers and sisters, but the only difference was the circumstances in which we were born into. Now, Roman's going to have to deal with a lot of struggles that I am never going to know. Thankfully, it made me real thankful for where I live and the opportunities I had, but he is not going to have the same resources at his disposal to protect his family, to be a good man, to provide situation or circumstance where his kids can be successful in life. But regardless, he can still win the day, and he can still be 1% better every single day. And in the end, that's all that matters, is that we do that. It doesn't matter if someone finishes the race ahead of me. What matters is that I give my best. That's what matters. So remember, as a team, you guys are going to have struggles and strides, and that's fine, because that's just what sports is all about. And it really makes us tough. It's how we react to those problems that really define who we are and our character. Do we get back up every time? Or do we let those problems beat us? Don't let them beat you. Because on the field, all those other problems that exist, they don't exist on the field. The only thing that exists on the field is winning and being our best and helping that teammate right next to you be his best. Thank you guys for participating in this. We're going to go in, we're going to talk about how we relate this to problem solving, not just on the field, but in life, and how we can be our best. Thank you guys, I appreciate it.
Again, complex problems, lots of different things. We talked about it earlier. There's not one solution other than involvement. There has to be a group effort that is going to require everyone. If we're going to be able to make life better for everyone, everyone has to be involved in that improvement process. I think Landon has a quick paragraph that he wants to share with something before we wrap up.
So this is just this was an incredible experience to be part of, and come together with the community and help develop some problem-solving capability with this football team. But I was on this expedition trip that this employee talks about when I went to Peru, and it was unbelievable to interact with the local villagers and to talk with them and understand what was some of their problems. And I liked what was said when he talks about this idea of a healthy community as a community that can solve its own problems. And that's what we were trying to do. It wasn't that we were out there to go give them a handout. There's more this idea of how do you give them a hand up, share some of this problem-solving skill sets to where they can be empowered to solve their own problems and continue to get better as a community. But when we go out and share this kind of methods with different people, whether it's within our own organization, local community, or global, we always ask these questions of things like, what matters most to you? What's important to you? Why do you work so hard? What's your purpose? And guess what? All the responses we see from all around the world are exactly the same. And that's what brings us all together. Some of the common things that we see that really matter most to people is usually number one is their family. Making sure they're providing a great life for their family. Faith and their religion is always at the top. Being able to kind of like provide or give back to others is another one of like this idea of selfless service. And so it just reminded us that, just like we said here, there's more that brings us together than what brings us apart. So when I was on the airplane just yesterday, I'm reading this book, and I think it was meant to be that I was reading this chapter, because I want to share some. It's called The Resilience Breakthrough, 27 Tools for Turning Adversity into Action by an author named Christian Moore. And there's something that is said in here. He quotes the guy, and I'll quote this paragraph. He says, Michael Collins, an astronaut on Gemini 10 and Apollo 11, echoed this sentiment. I really believe that if the political leaders of the world could see their planet from a distance of 100,000 miles, their outlook could be fundamentally changed. That all-important border would be invisible. That noisy argument silenced. The tiny globe would continue to turn, serenely ignoring its subdivisions, presenting a unified facade that would cry out for unified understanding, for homogeneous treatment. The earth must become as it appears, blue and white, not capitalist or communist. Blue and white, not rich or poor. Blue and white, not envious or envy. And I thought that was really neat to just kind of bring this idea of how do we come together, overcome our differences. There are going to be challenges, but coming together without diversity, we can overcome these challenges coming together. One thing that we want to share is that we're committed to keep this momentum going, and we're wanting to do, I guess you could say, a Skillsfest Utah with all the kind of partnerships and the things that we're trying to do out there in Utah. All of you are welcome. We don't know dates yet, but we're looking at probably maybe March-ish or something. But we're wanting to kind of keep this momentum going that's been built out here. And we're very grateful for the opportunity to kind of connect and jump in on this. So, thank you.